Cheers folks and welcome to my channel. It's Alliance War number 3 in season number 7 and we are meeting Revolution Arena. Not the first time, we met them a couple of times. Very strong, very good alliance, somewhere ranked usually between Master and Platinum 1. And very good defense, strong skilled players, so not an easy war at all. And today I thought I'd change things up a bit because I read a couple of comments lately about you wanting to see more newer paths, different paths, because I understand that I'm mostly on the same path and there the newness value is maybe a little bit limited. At the same time, the path assignment depends very much on the attack team available to you. So what I do today is I asked my teammate Psyure to record his fights because it's on Path 9 and I've never posted anything about Path 9 before. And I'll try to give node explanations. I haven't recorded all the node explanations per se, but I'll try to give the best information possible. And Path 9 starts all the way to the right, and the very first node is a node that especially has armor up. So as you can see here, starting with a armor buff, which of course is perfect if you have Corvus Glaive, because Corvus Glaive takes down the armor right away. Often on this node also what you find is a Black Panther Civil War. Either Sentinel or Black Panther Civil War is good because they give one charge from the beginning to Corvus Glaive. And then the next node that was occupied with a 6-star guillotine, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this node is a unblockable and bias special 2 node. So once that opponent is firing off special 2, that one's unblockable. But A, she fired off her special 1, B, she didn't even get to her special 2. So those were just very quick fights in the beginning that I unfortunately also don't have the node explanations to. But as of now, I do have the node explanations. So the next fight that was on node number 14. That's the middle one that you see here. And basically, it's a power drain node. So special attacks cause power drain and critical hits cause power leakage. Also, critical hits are increased, or critical rate is increased. And it's a node where villains are the only ones who get power and also gain a cruelty buff for every 7 seconds. And on top it has armor up, and the attacker yourself are losing power every 20 seconds. So you really have to try to get that opponent down as quickly as possible, using your basic attacks, but also if you can, and get some energy, then of course also using your special. And the opponent on this node was a 6-star duplicate science champion, and there's not many villains 6-star science who on this node makes sense. The one that actually could make sense is a Red Hulk, but since Corvus has charges now, he's getting Red Hulk down so quickly that he doesn't even get to his specials. If he ever got to his specials, then just try to avoid that he fires off special 2. Special 1 is always very much easier. And then we continue already to node number 44, plus 350% health, plus 150% attack. It's a bleed node, so you have to be bleed immune. And also enhanced special 1, so special 1 is unblockable and does 30% more damage. And the tricky thing about this node is spite. So whenever you have a buff, your opponent gains 18% power per second, and on top all special attacks are unblockable. So there's basically 2 strategies. The one strategy is you fight without getting any buffs, taking dexterity off, but then the problem is, if your opponent has a special 1 that you need to evade, then you can't really evade if you take dexterity off. Or the other option is you try with Corvus Glaive to just do as much damage as possible and take down the opponent down as quickly as possible. Because the issue is when you fight with Corvus Glaive and he has charges, that because he has this cruelty buff, your opponent will gain power all the time. So you just have to make sure that you take them down. Or if they get to their SP3, you have to make sure that you get to your special 2 to be able to either take them down, like here with Emma Frost, or at the same time the special 2 of Corvus Glaive drains power, so that they actually do not end up having her special 3 ready. And then basically we get to the mini boss node, and that's always plus 500% health, plus 200% attack. And in this case, upper right mini boss has debuff immunity. So you can't stun, you can't inflict any debuffs at all. And it was not a quake, that was just when I recorded the node explanation, but it was a Medusa. And Medusa would be good if Corvus already had, for example, True Strike. Then she would not be able to gain her auto evade. Other than that, you pretty much have to fight her like you would have to fight her with any other champ. And that is, as soon as she's on her 3 Fury buffs, you can just hit her once. And then you just have to evade her heavies. Or what you can do, like here, is to trigger her auto block only with your special. That's at least how you avoid to get parry stunned. Now, Psyure did not have Proxima with him, so there was no synergy which could have made that after Medusa auto blocked, he could have actually gained True Strike, so it was no point in really trying to, because True Strike was out of the question. Just in case you wondered. And then we move on to the final boss node. And final boss is always 1000% extra health, 300% extra attack, stun immune, has True Strike, and is adaptive. Adaptive means that it builds up physical or energy resistance, one or the other every 8 seconds. True Strike, ignore armor, resistance, and evasion. And stun immunity means just you can't parry stun them. Boss, the final boss. And the final boss in this case also was a champion. As I said, by now there's probably two optimal matchups for champion, and that is either Symbiote Supreme or it is Dr. Voodoo. And Psyure also has a rank 5 Dr. Voodoo, which is very nice for this final boss fight, which means that you have to try to spam specials 1. The good thing, because of the final boss node, and because of, you know, those resistances that he builds up, is that actually he gets a lot of buffs, and all those buffs that can then be transformed with the special 1 into those poison charges. And once he has the poison charges on, that's what pretty much reduces his ability to heal. Also here, when he uses his special 1 on the boss node, actually he would heal, but he doesn't because of those poison charges, because they reduce the ability accuracy. Plus, of course, it slowly kills him. And what I tip from my side, before firing off your special 1, it helps if you have an even number, because I feel that with the even numbers, it transforms more of those buffs into poison charges. But yeah, you have to maybe also figure it out a bit for yourself, what you feel works best, or if you have actually the time to look at all those combo hits that you have. And with that, I'm already at the end. We won this war. It's war number 3, streak number 3. And also, we are still in the race for a top 3 position. Currently, the leaderboard is a bit screwed up, but we'll see where it ends once this all has been corrected. And I hope now, new path, different champions, different nodes has been more useful to you. I try to vary a little bit probably in the future between my own paths and other paths that I can use for my videos, so that basically you get a bigger and better understanding of how we fight and how we tackle those champions on those different paths. And if you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. If you like the video, feel free to give it a like, and I hope to see you on this channel very, very soon. Cheers, folks.